Hi viewers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Diaspora TV. My name is Bashi Modi and today's topic is Get Tested campaign of STIs AIDS Federation. In the studio today, we're lucky to have very interesting people and I will just introduce them, starting off with the lady, of course, International Law Advisor, Mrs. Heise. Welcome to Diaspora.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. And we have Mr. Emmanuel Mark Babindele, who is the Integration and Migration Expert. Welcome to Diaspora.
Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, so we will start. And I would like to give this privilege for the one in Carcasso of the Get Tested campaign to say one or two things about the Get Tested. Roger, Mr. Mark Babindele, please.
You see, the Get Tested campaign started 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That was when the planning stage started from. And the aims and objective of the Get Tested campaign is to make sure that at least everyone knows their own HIV status.
Okay.
It's not the first campaign in Switzerland. They have a lot of campaigns that has been running when it comes to HIV testing in Switzerland.
Yeah.
But the specialty, or what is very crucial about Get Tested campaign is that it was targeted towards African migrants.
Okay.
And the reason is this, because you have the Love Life campaign.
Yeah.
The Love Life campaign is basically for the general population.
Yeah.
So then some of those concepts they are designing were not so connecting to the African.
Okay.
Then after several meetings with the Federal Office of Public Health, HCF Schweiz, HCF Bern, Zusha HCF, Group Sida Genève, African Mirror Foundation, then we came up with the concept of Get Tested campaign. Get Tested campaign is a national campaign.
It's a national campaign.
It's a national campaign. This year is being designed differently because it has went out of the boundary of just African. And now you have Eastern Bloc.
Okay.
The reason is this, because the epidemic of HIV has now started moving towards the Eastern Bloc region. Okay. So for this reason now they have included the Eastern Bloc region. They have, if you go on the website of the Get Tested campaign, which is the www.gettested.ch, it has been redesigned with a lot of languages, even including Russia, Romanian, Spanish, and all. So it's a national campaign, and most of the antennas, when I mean antennas, those are the HCFers, the offices who are running the campaign, who are supporting the campaign. From Zurich to Geneva, they are all promoting the Get Tested campaign.
Okay. That's very interesting. Mrs. Heinze, I would like to ask you, how is the HIV passive in your community?
Well, there's still a lot of stigma associated with HIV and AIDS. And this is in spite of a lot of work being done towards sensitization. There's a lot of work that's been done to try and allow inclusion of persons, living with HIV and AIDS. And unfortunately, whether it's because of poor education or lack of exposure to persons living with HIV and AIDS, so many people still tend to stay away from such individuals. So it's an unfortunate situation.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Mark Babindele? What would you think about that, just to add into?
If you look at it, if I put myself as an example, the first time I came to Switzerland in 1999. Okay. If I realized that you are HIV positive, sorry, you can't be my friend.
What?
Yes.
What would that be?
Because of the education I had back home.
Okay.
Because of what we have been fed with. HIV, AIDS. We even call it AIDS. This guy has AIDS. So what does that mean? Because we are not well informed. Well, if you touch me, maybe you will infect me, or she will infect me. So what about if people find out that my best friend is HIV positive? They will think I'm also positive, so I don't want that for myself. So, but as the awareness starts to come in, as I start to get education, as I start to receive information, then my mentality changed. This is why today, if I still see some people who say, HIV does not exist, it's been fabricated, I will say, look, I'm not going to blame you. Yeah. You just need to get more information. And how do you get information without reading? How do you get information without consulting? How do you get information without informing yourself?
Yes.
So if you stay with the mind closed,
yeah,
and you think, oh no, they just don't want us to reproduce. They want to reduce our population.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen people who said to you that AIDS means American initiative to decrease African population or something. They even gave it, they don't want to increase us, but this is not the situation.
It is not, yeah.
So, but now, as far as the migrant community is concerned in Switzerland, a lot of people are getting information about HIV. People are aware of it, that is there. And this, we can say kudos to the Federal Office of Public Health and AIDS, STIs and all the antennas for doing a great job.
And that's good. So actually, when we come to clarify that, it means the information has to be more transparent to the people who are not aware. Yes. And do you think because they don't have this information, is it because they are afraid, or what do you think? Is it because of their beliefs, or what do you think it is? Or it's just something that they are ashamed about?
You know, you still have people with cultural belief that talking about sexuality is a taboo.
Okay.
So, I can't go somewhere, there are some people, due to their religious belief or cultural background, you can't discuss sex.
Yeah.
There are some parents, they cannot discuss sex with their kids.
Okay.
They cannot even say, a father cannot see his son growing up and say, this is a condom for you, protect yourself. Or just imagine a woman telling her daughter, I see you are 16 in Switzerland, the sex age is 16, now you are going out in case of anything, protect yourself. I don't see that coming up in some of our communities, except you have what they call the community concept and individual orientation.
Yeah.
So for this, we cannot generalize all Africans to be of the same mentality.
Yeah.
You have parents who understand this, and they inform their daughter. They say, okay, I understand you want to start having boyfriend. I don't have any issue with that. There are some parents with 18, 20, 21, you cannot have a boyfriend. It's not possible. The father is even jealous of you. Imagine. Father is jealous of their own daughter of going with another man. No, I don't want to see. You have brothers who are jealous of their sisters. When the man come with what you do here, don't come and look for my sister.
Yeah.
We want to marry your sister? Or what exactly is your goal, you see? So there's still a big taboo when it comes to sexuality. But if you look at it, let's say thank you to the internet. Things are being opening up.
Transparent now,
People start to realize that if you put a mobile phone in the hands of your kids, you cannot control nothing. In as much the network is going in, they will pass through the mobile phone and they will get to your child. Either you like it or not, strange videos will pop up on your child's page. You can't just help it. That's just what it is.
If I may add to that, well, you find that actually even where there's information, you know, so many people tend to believe in the notion that, you know, what you don't know won't hurt you. And so some would consider that, you know, once they get information about HIV and once they know about their status, then that's when they start to get sick. You know? Yeah, so they choose not to delve into that information.
Well, okay, but when we go to discrimination, it's a bit of discrimination. What do you think living with AIDS in the communities of the migrants and the migrant around, what do you think about that? Do you think there is a very big discrimination? Do you think people are like rejected from the communities or from families, or what Mr. Mark Bamidele had explained before before he got the information that, you know, if he knew somebody, then he would just not have any contact business? What do you think?
I think the slight improvement in how people perceive people with HIV and AIDS. There are those who are bold enough to, for the lack of a proper word, they're bold, or they consider themselves to be to have knowledge that it will not affect them, you know, and it's actually important to embrace persons living with HIV and AIDS, so that they don't live in seclusion, and so that they can also monitor how that person is living with the virus. So the perceptions have changed. However, for those, I would say those who are just arriving in Europe, they still have the mentality back at home. I mean, I don't mean to put down anyone coming from home directly. By home, I mean back in Africa. But there are those who've come from the villages where stigma is even to a higher degree. Hence, they don't have exposure in how to relate to persons living with HIV and AIDS and the aspect of equality in the sense,
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. Is it a topic that we are all well informed and aware about?
I think it depends with the education system, because we do have some education systems that teach on HIV and AIDS, while others don't. And I would speak for, I think, international organizations have done a good job in Africa in terms of advocating for the topic of HIV and AIDS to be included in the syllabuses. So there's a lot of information included in the syllabuses, and people are educated regarding that. And that helps a lot with mentality. However, back in the villages, and this is where people are highly influenced, there's still a closed-mindedness. So regardless of whether it's in the syllabus, you learn it at school, but you don't go talking about it out there.
Actually, a short question just came up on my mind. Do you think the situation right now between this generation and the new generation and the young generation and the older generation about with the get tested thing now, do you think that they are more, the older generation are more open and flexible to go get tested to know their status, or you think the younger generation are more like I don't care, or what would you say to that?
You know, if you look at that, let's say for example, for 20 years, it depends on which age you consider like older generation. What is the sexual exposure, experience, and exploitation of a 25 years old boy, or let's say a young man, young lady, with a 50 years old man or a woman? You see, it's like a 50 years old woman normally has maybe 5-10 times more sexual experience, exposure than 25 years old person. So sometimes if you think about the risky situation, it's there in the young ones. This is why if you look at the campaign of Get Tested, Love Life, they start to focus also on the young ones.
The sexually active people.
Because as an adult, sometimes you grow up to be responsible. To take up to your responsibility. If you ask most of the kids, why are you protecting yourself? Because I have a future, I don't want to get pregnant. This is first what comes to their mind. It's not about the sexually transmitted infections. It's first, I don't want to get pregnant. If you ask somebody in their 40s, why are you protecting yourself? I don't know this guy. I'm not in this relationship. I don't want him to infect me. Because the issue of pregnancy is not in their agenda.
Absolutely,
You know, they have other ways, they know what to do, but if they are protecting themselves, because the older you are, the more informed you are about HIV and AIDS or about other sexually transmitted infection.
As a German,
just to add up to actually what Mark just said, I also think another important factor is that there are very many people, you know, who are older, who've had a friend or a family member dying from HIV and AIDS, and hence they have more. Rather, they do believe that actually the disease does exist, and anyone can be infected if caution is not taken. As opposed to our younger generation, who are still oblivious of this disease, or they don't know the symptoms, or they feel they haven't met somebody who's been infected by it, and so to an extent they're more susceptible to believing that it, you know, the chances of somebody having it is very low. And then they're less likely to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, get tested. Seha, know your status. You can get more information when you go to get tested. Seha and find something that just came up. You know, I heard about this self-testing kit. What would you say to that? This the self-testing kit information. Can you inform us about that?
Okay. The self-testing kit in Switzerland is new, but you already have it in England and in France and in some other countries. You know, Swedes sometimes need to analyze carefully that should we go into self-testing kits, should we not? So we are one of the last countries just accepting it that you can buy them now in the pharmacy.
They are available.
Yes, they are available, but it is advisable first to get counseling
first,
to be sure that okay, I have this, I'm going to do this. What about if your result turns positive? What should you do? Then on the kit themselves, they have outline, which they did together with the Swiss Medic.
Okay.
The Swiss Medic, they give the authorization, they have an hotline in case something happened. You can pick up your phone, you can call. First, they advise that do not panic. Because in Switzerland, even if you're HIV positive, you will get effective treatment. Your health insurance will pay for it. It's being covered by your health insurance. Treatment is effective. What does that mean? It means if you're on a medication as an HIV positive person, after a certain time, you will reach an undetectable level.
Yeah.
When you reach undetectable level, what does that mean? You cannot transmit HIV to somebody else, even if you're having sex without condom.
What?
Yes. Even if you're having sex without condom, you cannot transmit HIV to somebody else. But that means you are on treatment, effective treatment. This has been approved by the Swiss Federal Office of Public Health that, yes, this is like that.
Wow.
So, but a lot of people are still like, is it true? Is it not true? But to confirm to you from the information I have from what I've studied, it is true. So the self-testing kit now is for you to be able to test yourself.
To test yourself. For those people who feel maybe I'm afraid to go into the office to get tested or the clinic. So get it yourself and know yourself. So
you have self-testing kits could range to different applications.
Okay.
Let's say, for example, I want to marry Maria.
Yeah.
And I said to her, look, before we unskin it or before we pull it out, let's know our HIV status.
Yeah.
So maybe we are not comfortable to go to one of the centers to do it. So we can say, okay, let's test it ourselves. But the most important, we should be emotionally and mentally stable. What does that mean? We should not panic. We should be say, okay, let's do it. And ask ourselves a question. What if you're positive and positive? What will happen? And if you're doing it alone, ask yourself the same question. What about if I do this now and it happens to be positive? So because if you don't know your status, the chances is 50-50. Except you've never had sex before.
Unless,
So, but if you've never had sex before, we're not even going to be talking about testing. So the self-testing kit allows you to test yourself at home or in your privacy and get your results. Then you yourself, only you knows your results. And that's the point of the self-testing.
That's they know your status.
The self-testing kit is also part of the initiative of the 90-90-90. The 90.
What is the 90-90-90? I've heard about this.
90-90 means that 90% of the population should know their HIV status. Should know it. 90% of the population should know their HIV status. Or let's say 90% of sexually active people, because there's no need to test a child, right?
Yeah.
90% of sexually active people should know their HIV status. That is the first 90. The second 90 said that 90% of those who are HIV positive, they should be on treatment, because you have people that are HIV positive but they are not on treatment. So that is the goal of the second 90.
Okay.
And the third 90 said that those who are already on treatment, 90% of them should have what they call the undetectable level, a level where treatment is now prevention. What does that mean?
Yeah.
I cannot infect you again, even if I'm HIV positive. So those are the 3, 90, 90, 90. But they have now in common another, the fourth 90.
Yeah.
Those who are undetectable
Yeah.
should now be free of discrimination. But it has not been officially adopted.
Yeah.
But what has been officially adopted is the 90, 90, 90. So if you look at the self-testing kits,
Yeah.
it takes us closer to the first 90.
The first 90.
Which means we should know our HIV status. So if I don't have to pass through a lot of protocols to go here, to call, to fix appointment, then many people will know their status. So we are on the edge of the night. So considering that if you find out that you are HIV positive, everyone now understands that, okay, our medication is covered by my health insurance. Even to tell you, those who are financially handicapped,
Yeah.
you will not believe that the Swiss government are even helping to pay. You know, because in your health insurance, you have what they call the franchise, which is your first responsibility.
Yeah.
If you can't pay this,
Yeah.
the Swiss government are even paying this for you. If they check your financial situation, because so many people who don't go for treatment, they say, look, even this first 1,000 they ask me to pay in a year, I cannot afford it.
I cannot afford it, yeah.
But are they aware that if you're in this situation, the government will pay for you? No. This is where program like this is important, to educate the community, to inform them. If you're HIV positive, don't stay away from treatment because you cannot afford the franchise the health insurance are asking you for. Go call the HCFHIs or call the Federal Office of Public Health. They will pay for you.
It is better to know and to get treatment if you're unwell than not knowing and you have it, or having it and not getting treatment.
You have to
because
wait
it will get worse. That's just the point. And if you get treatment, things will be better.
Well, when you say when you're ill, so does it mean that you have to get ill in order to go get tested, or it is just good and important and just feel like, you know, I need to know my status. Am I gonna be healthy? I mean, it's a general thing. Like people say, like, you know, every end of the year I would like to go have a general checkup of my body. I want to know if I'm having a tumor, and some people can have tumors in head. You know, wouldn't that be?
Consider your lifestyle.
As a lifestyle?
Yes.
Okay.
If you've had multiple partners, it might not necessarily be multiple partners, it could be just that one boyfriend or one encounter whom seemed to be just normal.
Yeah.
You know, and if you had unprotected sex, or if, you know, the protection burst, these are the circumstances that should make you consider getting the test. There are also other ways of catching the disease. It's not just sexually transmitted only. It could be that you accidentally shared a needle. You know, these days the youngsters go for tattooing, and there are cheaper places to get tattoos, and needles are shared. Consider that. Accident victims, or if you happen to help somebody and the person was bruised, had a cut, and you also notice that you had a cut and there might have been blood transmission, just to be on the safe side. For those who unfortunately have been rape victims, the sooner you go to, you know, to go get checked, to go get tested, the sooner they'll put you on antiretroviral, and you will not, high chances you will not contract it if you go earlier.
Okay. Just to add to what Maria intellectually pointed out there, you know, you have what they call the PrEP. The PrEP means, let's say for example, I was out on a party with my friend, and something, you know what I mean? Something happened.
Something happened.
Exactly. And the next day I was like, damn, Mark, man, you messed up. What do I gonna do? Then I can go to like 80 February and say, you know what, last night was like, I just hit it. You know, then what counts? Then
absolutely.
they give me what they call PrEP. PrEP is like a kind of a medication of retroviral treatment. But if you take it,
Yeah.
it can help you, like Maria said, to stop the virus from getting into your body. So it means even if you are a sexual risky situation, don't just wait. You can go instantly the next day. If it is in the morning, go. They will put you on PrEP, and this could prevent you from being infected by HIV, like she rightfully said.
If I understand that correctly, it means when you realize that, oh, that night, probably my condom busted, probably I didn't know I was on the drink liqueur and I was toxicated, and I realized in the morning, well, we're both naked, we did something, and now the question lies out, and you think like, no, just to lie on the safe side, you can go, and once you explain this, they'll give you fast the PrEP.
Yes, it's not a one-time medication.
Yeah.
It's like a timeline medication.
A timeline medication.
So the expert knows how they prescribe it for you. But it's not like you just take one tablet.
And then it's gone.
Otherwise, they will go again the next day,
yeah,
take one tablet.
Take it, and at night do the same thing, and in the morning takes it again.
Yes, but you should also understand that it has its own side effects.
Okay.
So then you ask yourself, do you prefer to pass through all these side effects? Maybe you have diarrhea or whatever side effect just because of one night stand. You could have enjoyed the same one night stand by getting a condom.
Do people have any cure or religious beliefs about HIV?
Well, claims have been made by many. In African communities, there have been many pastors who claim to be miracle workers, and some people have claimed to actually have healed from it, whether it's spiritual intervention or herbal. What I know for a fact is there are numbers of people who've gone for prayers and they've claimed to have been healed, but actually, yes, but actually they were not really cured.
Okay.
You know, and there are those who've gone around and they've been taking herbs from, you know, traditional doctors, and they've also succumbed to the disease. So I think the best way to do things would just to go according to what your medical provider, you know, has said. And if you still feel you're a spiritual person, you need spiritual intervention, still go for spiritual intervention. I think it won't hurt if you still took the medication anyway.
We should be careful not to offend people's belief or people's religion.
Yeah.
But that does not mean we should shy away from the reality of what is going on in the society. Because if we say we do not want to offend your beliefs or your religion, but if your religion and your belief is misleading the general population in some aspect of things, then we need to straighten it out and tell you, look, scientifically, there is no cure for HIV. HIV does not have a cure, either spiritually, logically, or magically, or dreamically, or holy waterly. It doesn't exist. You can't cure it. Maybe in the future, those who will cure it are those experts who are studying the virus, who are applying the medication. If there will be a cure, they will be the one to bring it. It's not from any religious leader to tell us that they have cured HIV. It's fake. It's not true. Because there has never been anyone who has been tested HIV positive, who has gone to a spiritual healer and has returned, and I said, I did the test again, now I am HIV negative. I've never heard about one. So if there is a claim, it's just a kind of a brainwashing of people.
A scam could be.
Or let's put it like that. Like trying to make people vulnerable, gullible people to believe that because a lot of people, when they are sick or when they are healed, they can go any length to find cure for themselves. But HIV does not have a cure. But there's a treatment which they call effectively treatment. This is where we are now. And there has been time where people are taking like 9 pills per day.
Yeah.
Where they have 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 3 at night. But now we are in the era where people are taking just 1 pill per day. So now the scientists are still working to see, could there be a possibility where they just take once in a month or once in a week or once in a... So we are advancing.
Yeah.
So that's the phase where we are. And that's what the people must know, that your spiritual leader or whatever cannot cure HIV.
That's funny, but we must accept it because because the scams have been going around, and poor people who have not got proper information, they kind of believe that, you know, and people just pick up roots and boil them and give the people. I think it's a very bad scam. But clearly, ladies and gentlemen, HIV treatment, and the point of it is that clearly there is no cure. That one is 100%. We should just believe it, because if it has not been approved, if it is not officially out, so I don't think so. But the treatment is there and it works effectively. But what is more important is know your stages. That is what I would advise you, ladies and gentlemen. Or what do you think? They should get to know their stages. And if you're luckily, you're good, then take care of yourself. But if you're not, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to die out of it, as long as you get the treatment and you get the therapy, and that's it. You can even live for approximately how many years? 10, 20 years, even more, who knows?
If you're on therapy, on treatment, they said you could have a normal life. Like
a normal life.
Who is not HIV.
Meaning you can marry and have a family also.
You can live, you can go on, because the HIV virus itself has been suppressed.
Oh, okay.
So it means it's still in your system, it's not active anymore. It's just there and dormant, and the medication keep it down till let's hope that there will be a cure for it. Then let's hope. So that's where we are all heading to. So in regards to knowing your status and other things, it's a responsibility of everyone. If I protect myself, I'm protecting the next person.
Yeah.
So if the person I've had sex with unprotected, if someone had not protected themselves before I was there, you see, it's a chain. Sexuality is a chain in our generation. We are not in a generation where someone will tell you, all my life I just had sex with one man and I married the same man. All my life I just had one woman. This is the fact.
Yeah.
We are no more in this generation.
Yes, it's over.
Even people will tell you that it's not healthy, it's not, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But you still have people for religious belief, they still maintain this now.
Yeah.
So they're still, we're in the world and we're in.
Yeah.
Some things are like this, and in another way they are like that. It's like the 6 and the 9.
Yeah.
It depends on where you stand. You can see a 6, another person see 9. It doesn't mean I'm wrong, no, you're right. Maybe we're just at the other side of the coin.
Absolutely.
That's the point.
That's the point. When you have it, do not be afraid. And if you don't know about your status, please check the Get Tested Pumseha and know your status. But all the same, can you do a self-testing if you had a chance? That is a question that we'll leave it for you viewers. And you wanted to add something on regarding what Mark had said before.
This is regarding, maybe what I would like to say is person living with HIV and AIDS are actually protected, you know. You also have your rights as a human being. You shouldn't feel that because you will have HIV and, you know, you'll be somewhat some kind of criminal and, you know, you'll be locked up somewhere. You know, some people are scared of this. I think others would be scared of deportation, for instance. But that would not be the case, because under international law, you are also a human being just like any other, but you owe that humanity,
yeah,
you know, that sense of protection, you know. So if you get tested, it'll avoid infections, you'll protect your loved ones, and also you'll be there for your family. If you have children, you'll be there for your children.
Oh, people should understand that HIV, they said, mostly is being transmitted through sexual intercourse. You know, when you mean sexual intercourse, it could be anal, it could be or vagina or whatever. But you have what they call the opportunist infection.
Okay.
Opportunist infection means that you could have higher risk of being infected with HIV if you have herpes.
Yeah.
If you have gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea.
Because HIV itself is not the one killing you. You see, HIV is just targeting a cell in you that is called the CD4.
Okay.
So, and this CD4 is when you have like gonorrhea, syphilis, it comes to protect this against, it's like your immune system to protect this syphilis and all this against infection coming in. But this is what HIV targets. And once HIV can get hold of this CD4, it starts to kill it gradually. So, and when this starts to reduce, then your immune system is weak. So HIV himself is not this sickness. It's not a sickness in itself. It's just reduce your body immune system, that your immune system cannot fight anything again. Then you lose guard. Okay. Then another sickness starts.
Then your body is no protection. There's no protection.
It's knocking all your protection out.
Everybody's coming to join the party, and
that's where now it develops into AIDS.
Thank you. That's when it develops into AIDS. Yes.
Interesting. Viewers, ladies and gentlemen, we would love to give you more and more information about this. It is quite good to know about your health status, but unfortunately, whichever has a beginning has an end. But we will end it like this, that HIV treatment cost is covered by the health insurance in Switzerland, and HIV it's transmitted via unprotected sex. So even when you go out, even when you go anywhere, just be careful out there, because this is a reality. Effective treatment means transmission is 0. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to get more information, I would like to tell you, you can go through www.lovelife.ch or gettested.ch. Bashir Modi, and I have really enjoyed having you people, and I have learned so much. Thank you very much, Maria, and thank you very much, Mr. Mark Bamidele. And this has been Diaspora TV on this talk show today. I hope you get information, and we will see you again soon. Thank you very much, and have a safe life.